Hey guys. Hey. Alright, so not headed to the gym. I'm actually headed to pick my mom up from work. Never been before, so y'all probably see me looking down at my phone. Just trying to make sure I'm going the right way. Okay, so I forgot I had counseling today. So that threw off my gym schedule. I actually did not go to the gym today because I didn't realize I had scheduled my counseling session for the time in which I'd go to yoga. But it is what it is. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today on the ride. So, counseling. Why are you not in counseling? Why are you not healing yourself from your traumas? There's nothing wrong with going to counseling. And it sucks because I still feel like a lot of people feel like counseling is like bad. Or they feel like it means they're crazy. Or they feel like they don't need it. You guys, first of all, we're all crazy. In case you didn't know, we are all freaking crazy. Okay, now there may be levels to it, right? But we all got crazy in us. I don't care. We all have crazy to us. Like, you're not going to convince me otherwise. I think we all, every last one of us, could use some counseling. And the main reason why I think people don't want to go and they feel like they don't need it is because of ego. Believe it or not, a lot of people have serious ego problems. I used to have one too, that's how I know this. A lot of people have very serious ego problems, and a lot of times you feel like you can fix things on your own, but you can't. The problem is you don't even know, okay, a lot of times you don't even know that things that you've gone through in the past, you're still not over. All right, and that's what counseling revealed to me. So I've been in counseling for 5 years. And the reason I went was for a number of things. One, I had just quit my job. I had a 9-to-5. I think I told you about that yesterday or the day before. I had a 9-to-5. I hated it. I quit. And I was just feeling overwhelmed with the changes that were going on in my life. Like, no longer going to work. So now, I don't have anyone to talk to. I'm home alone all the time. I was so used to being around people. And then on top of that, I didn't have any support from my family or friends. Like when I quit my job, like everybody was telling me how stupid I was. Everyone was like just flabbergasted at the fact that I quit. They were like, oh my God, you left that stable ass job with the 401k plans. Like people were not supportive of me. And so I felt alone. I had found out through grapevines that people were talking about me. It was just like a dark time. You would think it would be a great time because I'm finally stepping out and doing something different, because I was so miserable at that job and everyone knew it. Like everyone knew how miserable I was. And so you would think that me quitting would make people proud of me. Like I'm proud of you. You stepping out on faith. You're doing something for you. And on top of that, I was still young. It's not like I had a household full of kids. You know what I'm saying? But even if I did, at some point you gotta do what's best for you. Like, let's just be real. But I didn't have any of that. So it was a dark place because at the time I cared so much about what people thought about me. Like I used to be her. Okay. So, not having support from family, not having support from my friends, it was tough. Then I didn't have anyone to talk to because everyone's at work and here I am at home. It was just a very lonely period for me. I was scared about the whole thing in the first place, had all these fears, like what if I fail? So I decided to go to counseling. And in counseling, it revealed so much about myself. I told you guys I had a drinking problem, and I had developed that problem when I had the job that I hated, and it was actually getting worse, the drinking problem. I was also 100 pounds overweight at the time. I was a people pleaser. I had a lot of stuff going on. And so I decided to go to counseling. Through counseling, I learned a couple of things. One thing I learned about myself that I did not know was that I needed validation from people because I didn't know how to get it from myself. And so that's why I was people pleasing in the first place. And I didn't know I don't even think I knew what the word validation meant back then. Like, just to be real, I don't think my brain ever associated the fact that I wanted friends so badly with the need for validation. I didn't know that. I had no clue. I also didn't understand that if friendships are not reciprocal, that's not a friendship. I didn't know that either. No one taught me that. Like, I think a lot of times people think stuff should be common sense, but I don't really believe in common sense. I don't think anything is common sense. Everything that you know, either somebody taught you or you learned that thing through an experience, okay? And no one told me, that I can recall, that if people aren't reciprocating, that means they're not your friend. I didn't know that. And so it was a lot of things in counseling before counseling that I was doing that I didn't even realize I was doing. So me always trying to seek validation from other people and then not getting that validation would cause me to feel depressed. It would cause me to feel unworthy, and it would cause me to try to people please to seek out that validation that I wanted so badly, because I did not know at the time how to validate myself. I also learned through counseling that I struggled with insecurity. See, I thought I was a pretty secure person. That's what I thought. I thought everybody kind of was secure within themselves, but no. I was very insecure. I used to doubt myself all the time. But again, I thought those characteristics were normal because everyone I was around doubted themselves. Everyone I was around was insecure, right? So I thought that was normal, and that's just people. But no, that doesn't have to be normal. It may be your normal because that's who you're around, but that's not normal. Like, God don't want you out here being insecure. Like, come on, like let's think about that. And so a lot of the things that I would do was all stemmed from insecurities. So she literally would have me write out things that would make Jasmine happy, not for other people, but for me. Like, what would make Jasmine happy? If nobody gave me their opinion about how I lived my life and what I did on a day-to-day, what would make me happy? And I had to sit there and dig deep and try to figure it out. I also didn't realize that I was still struggling with the fact that I had abandonment issues, all because I didn't have a father in my life. I didn't realize that. Like, I thought, I was cool. Like, I didn't really care. Like, he ain't never been in my life for real. You know what I'm saying? My parents got divorced however long ago, like decades ago. I thought I was over it. Like, I didn't realize that was a struggle of mine. And she revealed that to me through the friendship dynamics that I had, and when I thought people were mad at me, and another reason why I felt the need to overextend myself and people please was because I had abandonment issues. And I thought that if I was always doing for people, then that would make people like me, because I suffered from abandonment issues with my dad. I had no idea. Okay? A lot of the decisions that I made in my life was to appease other people because I didn't want people to be mad at me. I didn't want people to abandon me. Y'all better, do you hear me? Do you hear me? Okay? So there were a lot of things in counseling that I had to work on. And she's still my counselor to this day. 5 years later, she is still my counselor. So she done seen the transformation. And another thing that I love about her is the fact that, one, she's black, like myself, and then two, she runs a business. So her counseling business is her business. And I love the fact that she's an entrepreneur, because I'm an entrepreneur, and so I feel like she can relate to me on a lot of things. Like, she runs a very successful counseling business. Like, she is killing it, and like, I aspire to be like that, but within my own business. So, I love the fact that she's similar to me. She's also older than me. I think she's like in her late 40s. So she just has a lot of experience, and she's gone through things that I have personally gone through. So I just feel like she's easy to talk to. And for people who want to go to counseling, like, you may have to vet your counselor. You may have to vet them. Now, I don't think, like, if you call the 1-800 number on the back of your insurance card, I don't think they're going to outright tell you. Like, so I wanted a black counselor. Like, that's what I wanted. I'm black. I just feel like we can relate on a certain level. Like, so I just personally wanted a black counselor. That's just me. But I don't think like, when you call your insurance company to get a list of counselors, I don't think they're going to tell you, like, oh yeah, they're black. I had to go off of her name. Listen, don't judge. We listen, we don't judge. They sent me the list. I just went off of people's names, and I was like, okay, yeah, they sound black. Oh no, that sounds like a white lady. I could be completely wrong, because sometimes people got like white people names, but they're black. So you don't really know. But that's the method I had to do to try to find my black counselor. That's how I had to do that. But it is what it is. You may have to vet your counselor, and you may go through multiple counselors before you find one that you feel like relates to you. Also, they have counselors like for certain things. So like maybe you're really religious, then you should go to a religious-based counselor. If that's who you are. Maybe you want someone of the same sex as you, then that's what you should do. Maybe you want someone who's married. That makes sense. Like, I don't know if I would talk to a counselor about marriage if they're not married. Not saying they're not qualified. I'm just saying, like, how can I... Hey, we all have our own beliefs. I'm just telling you, me personally. So you do what you want. But the point I'm making is there's nothing wrong with vetting your counselor. Maybe you have kids, maybe you're a single mother, so you would love a counselor who's also a single mother because you feel like she could relate, or he, whatever, could relate to the struggles of being a single parent. Like, whatever it is, like, you have the right to determine that. And nobody can tell you that you're wrong for wanting your counselor to have had certain experiences. I feel like when people have gone through certain things or similar things, or they walk similar paths as you, then I just feel like it's more relatable. I feel like the advice that she gives me when it comes to entrepreneurship, like, she knows, like, she's been an entrepreneur for decades, you know, so she understands my mindset. She understands, you know, I'm not trying to go get a job. Like, she understands that. Whereas someone who may just work for a counseling firm, they may be like, when I'm having bad months, they might be like, I think you need to go get a job, you know, but it's just a totally different mindset. It's a totally different mindset. I'm not sitting here saying that getting a job is bad. What I'm saying is she just can relate to me on so many things that I think is very important for my life today. But nonetheless, like, counseling has done so much for me. And once I started healing my trauma wounds, once I started healing the inner child in me, that's when things really started to transform for me. I didn't start losing weight until after I had been going to counseling. And counseling taught me how to love myself. And so the weight loss just kind of flowed with it. I actually wasn't like, okay, I'm setting off to lose X amount of weight. Like, when I decided to lose weight, it wasn't like, okay, I'm gonna lose weight. It actually, the habits that you need in order to lose weight just slowly followed because I started to love on myself. I also just gradually stopped drinking. It wasn't like a set day where I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop drinking today and that's just gonna be what it is. No, believe it or not, it was actually gradual. It wasn't, I knew I needed to stop drinking. Like, I understood I had a problem. I wasn't denying that. But I just noticed over time, the more I started to love on myself, I stopped doing things that weren't forms of self-love. You get what I'm saying? Like, drinking yourself to sleep every day is not self-love. Period. Overeating is not self-love. I don't want to hear it. This is coming from an inner fat girl. Like, I was 340 pounds. I see the TikTok videos. I hear people talking about they love themselves. No, I disagree. You might think you love yourself. You might think you love yourself. But you're not going to convince me that someone who truly loves themselves is going to consistently overeat to the point where you're doing this all of the time, so that's why you're overweight, because this is something that you do regularly. And then 2, to the point where you're causing yourself harm. High blood pressure, diabetes. Like, I don't want to hear it, and it's really not up for discussion. Like, I'm not going to sit in the comments and argue with you. Again, I've lost over 100 pounds. A lot of times you think you're not struggling with stuff, but you really are, but your eyes don't become open until you go through counseling. Because if you truly love yourself, you will feed your body foods that match that energy, okay? You want to feel good about yourself. You're not going to sit here and tell me that going fast food every day makes you feel good about yourself. You're not. Like, you're not going to convince me of that. I've lived that life. And there were just a lot of things about myself that I thought was okay, but it actually wasn't. And again, a lot of the times, the reason why I thought certain habits that I had was okay was because that's who I was around. Environment. I told y'all, I thought being insecure was normal. I didn't know that was called insecure. Like the things, the limiting, for instance, the limiting beliefs that I had. Most people have limiting beliefs. Okay, most people believe that they can't accomplish stuff. Most people believe that. And so when you're around people with that mindset, you're not going to think to yourself, oh, this limiting belief needs to go in order for me to truly achieve my goals. Your brain is not even going to process that because that's not even what you're around. It's not until you become introduced to somebody or something that challenges you to think differently than what you've been thinking. And then that's when the foundation is laid, and then that's when you start to shift your mindset. But if you're never, if that's never presented to you, you're not just gonna automatically think different. Like you're just not. You're not. And so that's why counseling is just so important. And then a lot of stuff that we've gone through in our childhood, we don't even realize as grown-ass adults that that's why we are the way we are. Which is why counseling is just so important, y'all. Like, there's nothing wrong with you for wanting to get counseling. The same way you go and get your nails done every 2 weeks should be the same way you get counseling. Like, the same exact way. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And it's supposed to challenge you. It's supposed to be hard. Change is hard. Like, change is so hard, which is why most people don't change. Like, if you never ran into someone that you haven't seen in years and they're literally the same, like, nothing about them has changed. They are literally the same person that they've been. Like, they got the same problems. They got the same nasty ass attitude. You know what I mean? Like, most people don't change because it's so much easier to just point the finger at everyone else. But if you really want to be better, if you want to stop feeling the way you're feeling, then you should carry your ass to counseling. You should carry your ass to counseling. And a lot of insurance, like if you have insurance, your copay is going to be, most of the time, depending on the plan, but I've had multiple insurances over the years because when you're an entrepreneur, you got to find your own insurance. But my copays have always been whatever I paid my primary care. So at most $30. I think the cheapest I've ever paid to see her was like $15, and then at most like $30, just depending on the coverage I had for the year. But again, like, you be quick to go get Starbucks. Y'all love that Starbucks. Y'all love that Starbucks. Y'all be quick to go to Chick-fil-A and Chipotle and Kava, all the places. So I don't want to hear it, yo. A lot of people be trying to act like they ain't got no money. You got money, you just rather spend it other places. Stop playing with me. Stop. If you got a wig in your head, because ladies, we already know how much we be dropping on them wigs. Stop playing. If you got that sewing, if you got them full sets, if you got them lashes, girl, stop. Stop it. Stop it. If you at Sephora, if you ordering Fashion Nova and Shein, don't play with me. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Play with yourself. Don't play with me. So we should be investing in ourselves. And I promise you that the more you pour into yourself, the more you show up for yourself, the more you start to develop self-love. And that's what you need in order to be your highest version. Like, once you really start working on yourself, I promise you, like, your whole life changes. Your whole life changes. You have different perspectives on things. Your energy becomes different. You really end up loving on yourself. And that's the unfortunate part, is most people just, I feel like a lot of people, they know they're hurting, but they just put it on the back burner. You know what I mean? Like, they just, I'll deal with it later. I just need to calm down, or I just need to do this. No, you need to go to counseling. You need to go to counseling. That's what you need to do. So get yourself a counselor. Stop having ego. Put that ego shit to the side. It's not doing nothing for you. It's just keeping you stuck, trapped. It's keeping you stagnant. Go to counseling, heal yourself, and you can thank me later. All right, y'all. I'm going to finish trying to figure out how to get to my mom's job, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.